Why is this movie not more remembered? I just don't get it. Okay, everybody, long before Robert Ballard found the real Titanic, and way long before Jim Cameron put two star-crossed lovers on his, there was Raise the Titanic, a little spy espionage movie that will just rock your world. But before we go any further, before we go into this any more in-depthly, once and again, as always, to the trailer.
What a lovely thing she was. Standing as high in the water as one of your skyscrapers. And God himself, they said, couldn't sink her. Then in 2 hours, she was gone. And 1,500 souls with her.
Control, this is Deep Quest at 8,000 feet. Negative contacts.
This is Turtle. No contacts? No.
I think we hit the jackpot. It's at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
You're talking about 12,500 feet underwater.
Which leaves us with only one choice.
Are you talking about raising the Titanic?
Yeah. It's the biggest job with the highest stakes anybody ever dreamt of.
If there's a leak, we have to stop it.
What do you mean by a leak? I don't even know what you're talking about.
It was a secret. That's what I'm telling you. Nobody knew about it.
This is Control. Do not exceed 12,000-foot depth limit. Out.
It's a starfish. We're flooding. Try the surface. Over.
Starfish.
It's gone dead.
She's going down fast. They gotta lose some weight.
Release the damn thing!
Trying to.
I took this job on 2 conditions. One, that I handle the salvage end of it my way, and 2, that you stay out of my hair. He's gonna crush the Deep Quest.
Indicates electrical fire on the left.
If we can't cut loose that submersible, we gotta bring up the Titanic.
Target date's 2 weeks away.
Our target date just got changed.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mark.
Okay, everybody, this motion picture was directed by Jerry Jameson. Now, big motion picture director? Not really, but big television director? Oh, yes, he was. He did stuff like The Lazarus Man, and Walker, Texas Ranger, and Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Dynasty, and Jake and the Fat Man, and Magnum P.I., and Dallas, and Murder, She Wrote. So everything that was a big hit around that time, he was behind the director's chair at one point or another of. Okay, everybody, we have one hell of an all-star cast here today. So, let's not waste any more time and get down to it. Playing Admiral Sandecker was Jason Robards. Jeez, God, you guys all remember Jason Robards. He was everywhere in this period of time. We're talking about, he did stuff like All the President's Men, Magnolia, Parenthood, Max Dugan Returns, A Boy and His Dog, Johnny Got His Gun, Once Upon a Time in the West, and massive levels of television work. So, hey man, you see him, you know him, you love him, you watch him in a million things. Just the way it is. Playing Dirk Pitt. How do you not love that? Dirk I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Just say, Dirk, whatever, was Richard Jordan. Man, way too soon did this man pass on to the next realm. It was a shame when he passed away. Phenomenal actor. Anyway, he was in stuff like Dune and The Secret of My Success and The Hunt for Red October and Posse and Rooster Cogburn and Logan's Run. And he delivered a performance in a movie called The Mean Season with Kurt Russell that is just fucking phenomenal. So it's a shame really that this guy didn't get to do a bigger body of work, because he was top rate. This dude was fucking awesome. Okay, playing Gene Seagram, Doctor, was David Selby. Now, he was around a lot back in the day, popped up. You're going to recognize his name. You're going to recognize his face. He was in stuff like The Social Network and Surviving Christmas and Rich and Famous and Up the Sandbox and massive amounts of TV. We're talking like Ally McBeal and Touched by an Angel and Falcon Crest and Flamingo Road and Tell Me You Love Me and Legion and Dark Shadows. I mean, the guy was in a lot of stuff. Just the way it was. Playing Dana was Ann Archer. And we all had a little crush on Ann Archer. Don't fuck with me, don't lie. Anyway, she was in a bunch of stuff. She was in things like Fatal Attraction and Patriot Games and Body of Evidence and The Naked Face and Hero at Large. My God, nobody remembers that one. And Good Guys Wear Black. And Lifeguard with Sam Elliott, and Paradise Alley, and tons of TV work. So, Ann Archer, come on, man, she was pretty as shit. You know you remember. Let's keep moving. Playing John Bigalow. Not the biggest role in the movie, but an important role. Alec Guinness. Oh, you know who he is. Let's get rolling. We're talking about he was in stuff like The Bridge on the River Kwai, and Lawrence of Arabia, and To Paris with Love, and The Man in the White Suit, and The Lady Killers, and Oliver Twist, and Great Expectations. And he will always be remembered, no matter what, as being Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, with the slightly shifting hairpiece from movie to movie. Alec Guinness. What can you say? All right, come on, we gotta keep going. And playing Master Chief of Vinnie Walker, Emmet Walsh. Ooh. Let's go. He was in stuff like The Jerk, and Critters, and White Sands, and The Glass Shield, and Red Scorpion. Come on, Dolph Lundgren shit, and Wildcats, and The Best of Times, which is fucking awesome, and Fletch, and Missing in Action, and Grandview USA, and Blood Simple, and as Bryant in Blade Runner. Aha! On with the story. Okay, everybody, we're going to try to do this in not 90 seconds or less to keep this moving, keep it flowing, and keep it as entertaining as humanly possible so we can get to the summation, which is where we all want to be. Anyway, this motion picture starts off with some beautiful music and some beautiful establishing shots of the Titanic when she was leaving port way back in the day. It just gets you in the mood, it gets you flowing. It is what it is. But before you know it, we're off into a little espionage thrill. We see a guy, he's out there, he's digging in the ice. He's looking for something. He goes down into a mine. Before you know it, he's trying to escape. Before you know it, he's rescued by Richard Jordan while being shot at by Russians. You're like, what's going on? Whatever. As the story unfolds, the United States is working on a new missile defense system. Powerful, big, strong. But they need this new mineral called Byzanium. And the only place you can get this is in some mine in Russia. Well, we kind of figured out way back in the days this shit would be worth something, so we sent some people over there to steal it. They got it out of town, they were trying to get it out of Russia, they were trying to get it out of Europe, and the only place they could put it to get it the hell out of there was on the Titanic. Well, now we're working on that system, that missile defense system, and maybe some other things that go like that. and we want that Basanium, and we figure out the only place that it is on the Titanic. And the secret is to get down there without the Russians knowing it and lift up the Titanic so we can get the Basanium out and do whatever we want with it. Of course, in the mix of all that, you got the Russians who are a little bit pissed off because it's part of their state property, and they want this shit for themselves to do their own thing. It's an espionage thriller. But basically, that's the gist of it. Can we get the Basanium off the ocean floor and into New York Harbor without that much problem with the Russians? Are there spies on board? Is there all kinds of shit going on? Yes, but I don't want to tell you, and I don't want to ruin it, because this is a movie you have to watch and experience. You already get the gist. You know where we're going. Let's get going to summation. Okay, everybody, we're going to talk about why this motion picture works, and this motion picture works. We're talking about it fits in perfectly with the motion pictures of the day of its ilk. You know, if you watch stuff like the Poseidon Adventure, or the airport movies, or the Towering Inferno, or something along the lines of even The Final Countdown, or The Hunt for Red October, this motion picture fits in perfect with that ilk of that time. As I say all the time, one of the most important things in a motion picture is staying true to itself and pacing. And this motion picture stays true to itself, and it has perfect pacing. It doesn't try to break into a comedy or a stupid action or any of that kind of bullshit. It stays what it is from beginning to end, solidly, thought-provokingly, and it does it in a way that keeps you entertained. The directing in this motion picture is straightforward and simple and solid. What more could you want? The acting, you heard the people's names I gave you, folks. These guys deliver. They might not be that over-the-top star. It might not be Brad Pitt or a Schwarzenegger in the 80s. We are talking about people that deliver and know how to deliver consistently and every time. And I just love the fact that Richard Jordan got to headline a movie because, man, his career should have been bigger. The guy was a phenomenal actor, a phenomenal talent, passed away too young, passed away too early. We never probably even got to see his best shit, and we get to see him in this. What more can you want? Also, this motion picture comes at a period of time before CGI. So when you're watching this, there's no computer trickery. There's none of that bullshit. The Titanic is a model. Everything that you see of it is a set. The subs and all that kind of shit are miniatures. They're filming them in tanks. You get it. You get the idea. This is nothing that's that crazy or out of the ordinary today. It was a product of its generation, and you see it, and you realize the craftsmanship they put into it, and you appreciate it in and of itself. Is it going to look spot on perfect every moment? No. But it was what it was for the time that it was made, and it was damn good for the time that it was made. Are there times in the movie where you sit there and you see technical inaccuracies? Of course you do. For Christ's sakes, this is before they even found the real Titanic, for God's sake. So the idea of just finding it laying on the bottom of the ocean, just be like, well, a funnel broke, but beyond that, hey, you know, it ain't that bad. Of course, it's a little bit goofy. And yes, some of the subs they went down in were a bit roomy to be down there at the bottom of the ocean floor hanging out. And if a sub springs a leak at 12,000 feet, folks, you don't stick your finger in the hole and try to slow that shit down. Your day's kind of well over. So there's things that are wrong, obviously. But they don't take away from the motion picture. They don't detract from the overall experience. They don't ruin anything by any stretch of the imagination. One thing I got to say too, okay, it's in the poster. You're going to get the idea. For a guy like me, who was a Titanic freak, when this motion picture came out, even though I was young, seeing, I'm not giving anything away, when the Titanic breaks the surface and comes up from the ocean, if that didn't flip your fucking switch, nothing ever will. I mean, we were just freaking out like, oh, there she is. There she is. Okay, Wrath of Khan. But it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, that was the feeling, that was the vibe, and it was awesome the moment that happens in the motion picture. And in a strange little form of art imitating life, or life imitating art, back in the day when Robert Ballard found the Titanic, there was a little bit more going on. See, he needed all his equipment built. He needed all that kind of shit to go to the ocean floor and find the Titanic. They didn't have the money to pay for that shit. Only one people did, folks. United States Navy. Just the way it goes. So he went to them and said, hey, you know, if you give us the money to build this shit, we can have this stuff work for the U.S. Navy also. And the U.S. Navy said, we got just the thing for you. We lost 2 subs in the 60s, the Scorpion, the Thresher, nuclear reactors down there. We got to go inspect some shit. We got to look at some shit, and we don't want the Russians to come down there and find this shit. So we're going to build this shit, and you can go down there and look at it. And Ballard said, I'll do it, folks. I'm sworn to secrecy if you give me the equipment afterwards and let me go look for my big boat. And that's the way it really went down. And that's what happened. And you can look it up on YouTube itself to see the behind-the-scenes story. Anyway, everybody, if you get a shot, make sure you check out Raise the Titanic. I swear to you, I've had a million conversations with a million people, and only a handful even remember this motion picture. Almost nobody ever requests it, nobody ever talks about it, but it's one of those motion pictures that if you sit down and you watch it, and you give it a chance, and you take it in, you're going to be thoroughly entertained and thoroughly enjoy the experience. I almost can't imagine it any other way. Once and again, everybody, be good. Take care of yourselves. Look out for your fellow man. Help a stranger in need. Go out there and watch Raise the Titanic. And, above all else, don't ever take any bullshit from anybody. See you soon.